Okay, here it is. EU believes the Ukraine is a very corrupt country politico. And here on the channel, we've been calling this whole fiasco there in Russia. We've been calling this whole fiasco a what is it? Proxy war, money laundering, war of attrition. And if you haven't realized that everything around you and everything from your housing market to your digital cryptos to everything around you, wars, whatever you want to, however you want to bring it up, right? It's basically all money laundering. Your apartment rent is so much because of money laundering, right? The amount of money laundering that was poured into your city, turning your city into an empty shell and forcing locals, average wage earners, out of their own country that they were born and raised and educated in because of this. So if you want to kind of get to the bottom of where we're at and why we're at, is because of money laundering, right? So criminals are trying to move their money around, and a lot of American politicians have been bouncing their money off of Ukraine, right? And then a lot of the crypto guys were using that SPX or STX or whatever that thing was. I'm just average Mike. I don't know everything, right? So what else? You got your real estate market that was very heavily laundered in English-speaking countries, and that basically destroyed everything front and back, right? So it's all money laundering. It's all criminals trying to move their money around. So if you haven't got the whole war in Ukraine by now, then I don't even know what to say anymore. This is average Mike telling you an average story of an average situation. So there it is. Let's full screen this here for you guys. EU believes Ukraine is a very rare corrupt country. You don't say. You don't say. Widespread corruption in Ukraine could hamper Kiev's bid for EU membership. That's never going to happen. It shouldn't happen. A Western European diplomat told Politico on Monday he said Ukraine President Vladimir Zelensky efforts to tackle the problem have also alarmed Brussels. Now, do you remember the prediction we made on this channel quite a few months ago? I said, how are they going to throw Zelensky under the bus? Well, there's going to be a way they're going to throw Zelensky under the bus, and it's going to be very simple. They're going to give him till Christmas of 2023. They're going to give him till Christmas of 2023 to take Crimea. If he can't take Crimea, they're going to stop funding him and they're going to throw him under the bus. We know, everyone listening to this Average Mike show knows that basically he can't take Crimea by Christmas. And I think that's a way they're going to throw him out and kind of put him under the bus and blame him for everything. Because there's always a fall guy, right? And whenever you're looking around and you're looking for answers, there's always a fall guy that's going to be the fall man for everything, right? All right, let's go back to the article here on Average Mikes. And Ukraine applied for membership in the European Union last February and was formally granted candidate status for months later, although European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen is expected to address the issue of the enlargement during her State of the Union speech on Wednesday, and EU Council President Charles Michel has vowed to admit the candidate nations by 2030. Ukraine bid could be hamstrung by rampant corruption. And we all know it's all corruption, and we all know it's money laundering. We all know it's just this BS. Let me move myself around here. Live right here on Average Mikes. And Ukraine is a very corrupt country, and back in the late 90s and early 2000s, they were doing a lot of things to their own citizens to try and get something going, whether it was, well, you guys remember the peacekeeping that was going on there for a bit, and then there was a little bit of quietness, and then there was a little bit of that financial scandal in the early 2000s, and a lot of shadow banking problems, money laundering. And the proposal in question was raised by Zelensky last month following a purge of allegedly corrupt officials at the Ukraine Ministry of Defense. Zelensky announced that he would task the Security Service of Ukraine, SBU, with probing and prosecuting corruption cases, taking investigative power away from the country's multiple anti-graft agencies. So do you remember the Burisma scandal, where I received a lot of threats 3 years ago? When the Burisma, there was a prosecutor prosecuting Hunter Biden with the Burisma scandal in the Ukraine, and then Zelensky would bring up the prosecutor every time he needed more money. So Zelensky would basically dangle the prosecutor in front and say, "Hello, America, here's the prosecutor. We're going to investigate Hunter Biden." Well, every time the prosecutor came up and ready to prosecute Hunter Biden, America would send more money and bleed its people to death, and bleed multiple generations into the future to death because of the Biden family, crime family. And that's major. And it's true, and it's there. But what happened to the Burisma? The woman that was investigating the Burisma scandal. What happened to her? Well, she disappeared or was found dead a few months ago. Remember that? We covered that on Mike in the Night.